Hi, I'm here with Ravi Subramanyan from HiveMQ, here at Operations Calling again.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me, Ravi.
Absolutely.
Perhaps we could just start off by you talking a little bit about why it's important for HiveMQ to have a presence here at Operations Calling and what's the value for you as an organization.
Absolutely. And this is our second year of attending the Operations Calling. One of the big things here is that Tulip is actually at a point where they're trying to bring together like-minded technology providers and how we can come together, create what we call a unified namespace to enable like advanced applications, be it MES, be it digital workbench, or whatever application that customers need. And it's the underlying thing is the data. So how can technology providers like HiveMQ, where we offer that like enterprise grade broker, along with there's some like data like conceptualization tools and data cleansing, preparing it for advanced use cases that Tulip does. So that's kind of like the reason why we're here.
Okay, and you were obviously on stage yesterday talking
Yes.
about the US.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a great session, it was a lot of
Thank
fun
you.
as well. It's
Thank
nice that you injected a bit of humor into
Right,
the whole
I did,
thing,
I
because
did.
sometimes
Yeah.
these discussions can get a little bit dry.
Absolutely.
So that was great. And perhaps for people obviously who weren't necessarily there and perhaps don't know that much about unified namespace, maybe you can just give us some details about okay, what is it and why does it really change the game for manufacturers from a digital transformation perspective.
Right. So often in manufacturing, you see that the data is sitting in multiple different silos. So you have like machines that are generating data, you have applications generating data, databases, and typically like if you want to like take the data and put it in a database, you try to have like a straight communication or maybe an MES application. For like small implementations, it's okay, but then as things get more and more complex, this is where you need like a publish subscribe technology, a way you can bring all the data so you can actually visualize and see all of your business data in one location, so that you can have all the connections happening in a common way, if you will, like through a centralized repository. And that repository is like an MQTT broker, which is kind of like something we do. And the framework that you create from this is called a unified namespace. A unified namespace, simply put, is like an easy way to bring all your business data into one location, so you can visualize it, contextualize it. So like for example, what are the alarms that happen, or what are the events that happen today? What are the different parameters I need to make sure that I track them and ensure that I can use them to build out like my applications or like AI or condition monitoring, like things like what Tulip does, for example, right? It's great to build a unified namespace that you can then build your applications on. So you can trust that data, you can ensure that people adopt that technology, because often what happens is you build technologies and nobody's adopting it because they don't trust the data. By using the unified namespace, you can make sure that they adopt it.
Yeah, and adoption is a huge issue that we've spoken a lot about at the conference so far.
Sure.
Maybe you can just talk a little bit more about HiveMQ, what you do, and particularly within the Tulip ecosystem. How do you work with Tulip?
Yeah. So for folks that don't know HiveMQ, we offer like one of the most advanced enterprise-grade MQTT brokers in the market. MQTT is a technology that originated in the oil and gas business for moving data efficiently, right? It's a publish subscribe technologies where you have these remote assets that have data that necessarily are not sitting on like high connectivity or high bandwidth situations where traditional methods of bringing in the data doesn't work. So the MQTT has been designed as a publish subscribe technology where the remote assets can publish data to a centralized repository, which we call a broker, on specific topics when connectivity is available or bandwidth is available. And then this data can then be shared with other clients that need that application. Like for example, a condition monitoring application could be a client that is subscribing to the topic published by remote assets from an oil and gas. So that's kind of like where MQTT started. It then became an open source, and then in 2010, then 2012 is when HiveMQ got created, and then our technology, our company, our product is based on that, and we built a solution that's highly scalable, enterprise grade, highly available, highly secure. So which is kind of like what you need in enterprise grade deployments, right? For small deployments, you can use open source broker, which by the way HiveMQ offers, or other solution providers, or like MQ, like Mosquito is very common, for example. But then it has limitations in terms of connectivity, number of connections. That's where HiveMQ comes in. And then like from our perspective, we kind of like are the central nervous system that connects like remote assets to like the enterprise. And Tulip is that like that consumer of that data on the other side, building out applications. So for us, it's kind of like a natural marriage. And that's why we are here at this conference. We are partnering with Tulip on applications where our customers, we have a lot of common customers, by the way, that need us to be that central hub, but they also need like Tulip to come in and then like create like these low-code, no-code applications that can build on top of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
So, anything else that you particularly enjoyed about this conference this year, and any highlights?
Yeah, so for me, the highlights is that this conference is for the doers, right? I've attended a lot of conferences where there's a lot of talk. Oh, we can do this, we can do that. But this conference, especially the people that attend this conference, I see that they are much farther in their decision process. They are really like people that, okay, I want to put together the system, and I'm kind of like heading on this journey. I have some systems. I've started using Tulip, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the art of possibilities, right? So, and then they want to work with vendors like us, or with HiveMQ, or with Litmus, to figure out like how that solution comes together. And the biggest thing that the takeaway for them is like how that unified namespace framework can be that glue that connects all of these. Because at the end of the day, many vendors come together and customers get confused about like which vendor to go with for what solution. What unified namespace does is like it makes it vendor agnostic. You build that framework, and then ultimately you can pick the best vendors. Like for example, you can pick HiveMQ for the broker solution. You can pick a HiveMQ for like the data like cleansing and the data ops strategy, and then maybe Litmus for the edge strategy, and then like can come together, and you can change things around while still keeping the guts of what you're trying to do through UNS. So that's what I like about this conference. There's a lot of great conversations with people that are trying to make decisions, and then I foresee that they will actually make a decision in the next 6 months as opposed to starting off on the journey.
All right.
So,
fantastic, Ravi. Thanks very much. I hope we can see you again next year.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you so much. Oh, one other thing, just a quick, before we end this, we work with IoT World a lot for a lot of our research. And one of the things that we're trying to do is we do an annual survey. We meaning HiveMQ does an annual survey, working with IoT World to understand the IoT space and what sort of customers use that, what sort of use cases they build. In fact, this year we want to ask questions about unified namespace. So that survey will come out soon, and I would request the IoT World viewers to take that survey so we can be better enlightened about it, and then we can publish a report on that we can share back.